The Lord be with you. I'm Deacon Keith Fournier, and our first reading is from the book of Exodus. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month is to be the first of all the others for you, the first month of your year. Speak to the whole community of Israel and say, on the 10th day of this month, each man must take an animal from the flock, one for each family, one animal for each household. If the household is too small to eat the animal, a man must join with his neighbor, the nearest to his house, as the number of persons requires. You must take into account what each can eat in deciding the number for the animal. It must be an animal without blemish, a male, 1 year old. You may take it from either sheep or goats. You must keep it till the 14th day of the month, when the whole assembly of the community of Israel shall slaughter it between the 2 evenings. Some of the blood must then be taken and put on the 2 doorposts and the lintel of the houses where it is eaten. That night the flesh is to be eaten, roasted over the fire. It must be eaten with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. You shall eat it like this, with a girdle round your waist, sandals on your feet, a staff in your hand. You shall eat it hastily. It is a Passover in honor of the Lord. That night I will go through the land of Egypt and strike down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, man and beast alike, and I shall deal out punishment to all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood shall serve to mark the houses that you live in. When I see the blood, I will pass over you, and you shall escape the destroying plague when I strike the land of Egypt. This day is to be a day of remembrance for you, and you must celebrate it as a feast in the Lord's honor. For all generations you are to declare it a day of festival forever." And our response is from Psalm 116. "What return can I make to Yahweh for his generosity to me? I shall take up the cup of salvation and call on the name of Yahweh. Costly in Yahweh's sight is the death of his faithful. I beg you, Yahweh, I am your servant. I am your servant, and my mother was your servant. You have undone my fetters. I shall offer you a sacrifice of thanksgiving and call on the name of Yahweh. I shall fulfill my vows to Yahweh, witnessed by all his people." And our second reading is from the first letter of the Apostle Paul to the Corinthians. "Every time you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are proclaiming the death of the Lord. This is what I received from the Lord, and in turn passed on to you. That on the same night that he was betrayed, the Lord Jesus took some bread and thanked God for it and broke it, and he said, 'This is my body, which is for you. Do this as a memorial of me.' In the same way, he took the cup after supper and said, 'This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Whenever you drink it, do this as a memorial of me. Until the Lord comes, therefore, every time you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are proclaiming his death." A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. Now Jesus showed how perfect his love was. It was before the festival of the Passover, and Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to pass from this world to the Father. He'd always loved those who were his in the world, but now he showed how perfect his love was. They were at supper, and the devil had already put it into the mind of Judas Iscariot, son of Simon, to betray him. Jesus knew that the Father had put everything into his hands and that he had come from God and was returning to God. And he got up from table, removed his outer garment, and taking a towel, wrapped it round his waist. He then poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel he was wearing. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "At the moment you do not know what I am doing, but later you will understand." "Never," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "If I do not wash you, you can have nothing in common with me." Then, Lord, said Simon Peter, "not only my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus said, "No one who has taken a bath needs washing. He's clean all over. You too are clean, though not all of you." He knew who was going to betray him. That was why he said, though not all of you are. When he had washed their feet and put on his clothes again, he went back to the table. Do you understand, he said, what I've done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and rightly, so I am. If I then, the Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you should wash each other's feet. I've given you an example so that you may copy what I've done to you. The Gospel of the Lord.